Okay, we are at the end of week 6. I think this week was an interesting exploration, I think, of like pre-planning and organization and the impact that it has on other people when collaborating. Really looking to see, I don't like to enter some of these like meetings and things like that with no work done. It just kind of feels like things spin around, and I think any meeting profits from some pre-work and having something to actually speak to instead of a blank piece of paper. This past couple of weeks, I've seen lots of different approaches, either coming in as a completely blank slate and just seeing what the group comes up with. I saw coming in with a fully like pre-organized, here's the tasks, here's the deadlines. And just this past weekend, I kind of I did some pre-work to explain the context, but didn't have any specific tasks outside of that. I think my takeaway is that doing the pre-work is important. Having at least the tasks identified is important. Even having a draft or potential timeline is really good. But then the conversation afterwards still needs to be an open conversation of what do people think. And there still needs to be the ability for others to give input. And as long as that ability is there, then I think from the feedback I got, people are okay with that. Because I was really trying to move away from this controlling side of myself and just let the group kind of figure things out. But from the feedback I've gotten, people like to have the framework, but they also want to have their input heard. So I think that's something I'll be trying moving forward, is do the pre-work, prep for it, have the idea, have the suggestion, but then open it up fully for people's input to it. So that was one big learning from this past week. Another piece was, I think, this idea of expectations. So we had a couple meetings where people kind of bailed on it or just said that they won't be able to make it without providing a justification. And initially, I really didn't like that. That made me feel very uncomfortable and kind of like disrespected. But then upon reflection, I realized, who am I to judge whether somebody's reason for not showing up to something is valid or not? Like, that's not my place. And actually, it made me realize that whenever I am like making decisions for myself or choosing to be or not be somewhere, I feel like I have to provide a justification. And that just kind of like turns over the power or turns over the value of the justification to the other party, if that makes sense. So rather than me just feeling like, I can't make it because I have a date with my wife, or I can't make it because I feel like watching a movie. For whatever reason, if it's someone else that I'm asking for feedback about that, or if I have to provide the justification, then the other person is in power and I'm waiting for them to tell me whether my justification is sufficient. So I think that's something that I'd like to work on. This past weekend was good in that I didn't go all in on work. Like yesterday, I had to go and do shopping, and I had to do my groceries, and I had to do my cooking, and I did that. I didn't like sacrifice that for schoolwork, and I also didn't do that and then stay up late for schoolwork. I still got a good night's sleep. So it's an interesting place to be. I feel like things got undone, but I think I end up just projecting my own expectations that other people expect of me, what I expect of myself, and it's not true. So it's been nice to kind of walk away from that. So it's been a good week of reflection. Overall, like, things are going good. It's raining. We've had really nice weather for the last little while. I think this is like the first day of rain in the last 3 weeks. So we might be entering a bit of a rainy phase, but I mean, it's still 16 degrees here. So still very nice. Still very autumn. So let's go.